How's it going, guys? Welcome to episode 2 of the Leicester City Master League here on PES 2021. Thanks for tuning back in, and we're getting straight into the action in this episode, into the opening day where we host Wolves in what is a really intriguing opening day fixture. Probably two fairly evenly matched sides. Obviously, you saw in the last episode we completed the signings of Tagliafico and Emre Can. Unfortunately, both of them are not available to start in this game. But we are looking to get a good result under our belt against a really tough Wolves side. They haven't made any additions to their side, as you'll see in their lineup in a second, but this gives us a chance to really show the sort of quality we have in the team. And we start with Kasper Schmeichel in goal, Pereira, Evans, Soyuncu, Castagno at left back across the back four, and Didi will hold Tielemans and Maddison ahead of him with Barnes, Vardy and Perez. Wolves are starting with a 5 at the back, which means Jamie Vardy's going to have his work cut out. Neves and Moutinho will look to dictate the midfield, with Adama, Pedence and Jimenez offering the threat up front. So it is going to be a tough opening day task. Will we get the result? Who knows? But a good performance is what we need to start the season with, as Jamie Vardy looks to get us off and underway here. So we started the game just trying to knock the ball around. First game of the season, just get used to getting onto the ball. We start really well here. Tielemans over to Maddison. Maddison looks to find Castagno, but it's cut out. James Maddison, I'm looking for him to dictate the games. That's what he's going to do as one of our highest rated players. We get the ball out to Pereira straight away, who whips that cross in. Unfortunately, Jamie Vardy couldn't get onto the end of it. That was it until 10 minutes later, when we tried to play out from the back and Yuri Tielemans gets caught out by Pedence. Jimenez takes it on early, but Kasper Schmeichel's gloves were warmed within 13 minutes of the season. He does well to try and to ultimately palm that round the post. That was on me trying to play out from the back. That's what I want to do here, try and play nice football. And unfortunately, we're caught out there, but we're bailed out by Schmeichel producing a great save. From the resulting corner, I think it was Ruben Neves who whipped it in. It was cleared as far as Nelson Semedo, and it came to Adama, and once again Schmeichel got down well to clear before Johnny Evans nearly turned it into his own net. So we're looking to get a first real chance of the game here. Ricardo Pereira down this right hand side trying to produce. That's something we're going to look to do, get the fullbacks forward a lot. Tielemans finds Perez, who gets it into Maddison, and he tries one of those like knuckle dipping shots that you can do on PES, and unfortunately he can't round off a good move with a goal. I think from the replay it looked like Rui Patricio had it covered, but nice to get a feel of the ball and just settle the side down. Maddison tries to dribble forward and we get caught out here. Adama on the ball, and then Jimenez finds Pedence, and I thought I'd covered with Ricardo Pereira, but Pedence shows great composure to go past the Portuguese man and finish beyond Kasper Schmeichel to give Wolves the lead at the King Power. That just comes from us trying to play and getting caught out. Centre-backs being too far forward, Pereira not having the speed to cover against his Portuguese compatriot Pedence, and unfortunately we get caught out. As we look to get back into the game here, straight away it comes to Maddison. He has a shot and I thought it was destined for the net, but Rui Patricio said no, as he got a fingertip to it to tip it round the post. I think from the replay it almost looks like Maddison thinks he scored that. It was a good effort, but unfortunately Patricio was equal to it. Once again we get caught out on the break here trying to play forward. Adama dinks it over to Jimenez. You'll see Schmeichel come and then decide not to, and he causes that hesitation in Jimenez, who then ultimately puts it over to Pedence. And another smart Kasper Schmeichel saves, denies the Portuguese international, doubling his tally and Wolves, and keeps it at 1-0. And that was a real concern for me in this game, with those pacey front three, with the vocal point of Jimenez, that we were going to get caught out. And the second half started much in the same way. John Moutinho's killer ball through to Adama Traore, and even though Kasper Schmeichel got out to close the angle, the ball falls so kindly to Raul Jimenez, who's on the mark ahead of our centre-backs to double Wolves' advantage on the opening day. I'm very disappointed in the way that they carved us through there. I think I pulled Soyuncu out of position and I really shouldn't. And Raul Jimenez is just on the spot to double the lead. And then Wolves come again, so we've not learnt our lessons from the first 2 goals. Adama gets the ball across, it falls to Podence, and on the hour, Wolves score their 3rd goal to go 3-0 in front, and it's an absolute calamity on the opening day so far for us. We've got half an hour to try and get ourselves back into this game. Otherwise, we're finishing the first game of the season with defeat. I decided to ring the changes after that. We brought on Under for Jose Perez. We took off James Maddison and brought on Kelechi Iheanacho. You'll see Tielemans dink it into Vardy, whose dipping effort is saved by Patricio. But then 5 minutes after Wolves go 3 up, Harvey Barnes reduces the deficit to 2 with a smart finish on the rebound. And is that a route back into the game for us on the opening day, or is it merely a consolation? The final 25 minutes of the game will tell us that. It was a good effort from Vardy and a good save, but much like on Wolves' second goal, we were quicker to it. 15 minutes before time, a great killer ball through to Kelechi Iheanacho, and the substitute scores the goal to reduce the arrears to 1 and gets us within a goal of getting level. Who would have thought that when we went 3-0 down after the hour? We're showing great character to get those 2 goals back. And that means we've got 15 minutes to hopefully try and get that last goal. And we come forward here with Harvey Barnes on the left-hand side. He squares up Nelson Semedo. A great ball in, and Kelechi Iheanacho from 4 yards really should score there. He did well to score the first one, but that is a bit of a sitter. He cannot be missing the target with a header from there. And that could ultimately cost us a point from this game. Last minute here, we spread it through to Vardy, but he just can't get his foot on the ball. Patricio clears, and that means Wolves leave the King Power on the opening day with all 3 points in a bitterly disappointing opening day performance for the Foxes. No messing around as we try to bounce back straight away with the away game against Chelsea. No real transfer business of note occurred in the week between. Forest came back and said that the counter offer we gave from Marco Brighton they weren't interested in, and that was that. We're still waiting for a few more to try and go out the door before we bring in a few new players. You'll see Tagliafico makes his debut today. That's because Timothy Castagna picked up an injury in the opening day defeat to Wolves. Chelsea, as you might expect, very strong. Ziyech, Havertz, Pulisic, Werner, all in the attacking areas. And you might notice Son Heung-min amongst the substitutes as well. As far as changes for us are concerned, Under comes in to replace Jose Perez, and then Tagliafico is a like-for-like change with Castagna. Emre Can is amongst the substitutes. We start positively with Harvey Barnes looking to spread the play into Under, and Under's shot is smartly saved by Edouard Mendy. Again, we come forward with Ndidi. He plays it into Vardy, over to Tielemans. Tielemans gets down that wing. It's cleared. It comes to Maddison as we keep the pressure on. Tielemans lays it out to Ricardo Pereira, who whips it in, and Harvey Barnes loses his marker to head beyond Edouard Mendy. And we have the lead at Stamford Bridge within 22 minutes. It was a very slow start to the game. Apart from the Under chance, that goal was the first real effort of note. Chelsea never caused us any problems inside the opening half of the first half, and we get our just desserts with Harvey Barnes scoring there. Chelsea did threaten after that though. Pulisic with some good feet, but his shot was blocked by Johnny Evans, brave to get in the way of that. They kept on the pressure. Timo Werner with the effort, and again Johnny Evans does enough to turn it behind. And that was all Chelsea created in the first half. We came forward with Tielemans finding Barnes. He tries to get it with the outside of his right foot, but Edouard Mendy down safe to save. Chelsea then threatened at the start of the second half with N'Golo Kante managing to get amongst the bodies but fire wide, and then a moment of quality with a great pass from Under. He picks out the goal scorer Harvey Barnes, who's inches away from curling in his second of the game. Aspilicueta just not able to deal with him. Again, it's Under with a pass over the top. Vardy takes it early, but it's just wide with Edouard Mendy scrambling. Chelsea continues to try and get in the game without creating many chances of note. Son Heung-min failing to get on the end of that one. And then off the bench, Kelechi Iheanacho finishes past Edouard Mendy. Maybe a slightly scuffed effort, but nonetheless, Kelechi scores. It looked like, in my opinion, it might have been a foul in the build-up on Hakim Ziyech. Certainly, if that wasn't given to me, I'd be complaining, but it looked like Kelechi's touch had taken it away from him, but he manages to screw the ball into the ground and pass Edouard Mendy, and Chelsea didn't have any response to that as we win the game 2-0 and bounce back in convincing fashion. So you'll see in the background we get transfer deadline day underway. We do receive an offer for Slimani. It's well undervalued, but I'm just going to look to get him out of the club. We reject an offer for Wilfred Ndidi, and I was looking to confirm the Akone deal, but we didn't have enough transfer budget. So we'd have to wait for another player to go out, which is then going to take more time. I was contemplating accepting the Jakubovic deal, but then that would have taken 2 hours up, which we didn't have. I rejected the offer for Jamie Vardy, and we accepted the offer for Wes Morgan, so he has left the club. We still didn't have enough for Jonathan Akone, so I played the waiting game to see if we would receive any other offers. It was just Arsenal coming in for Ndidi again, so with 3 hours left I decided to just complete the deal for Christophe Ayer to get another body across the line and add a bit of depth in the absence of Wes Morgan, who left. But that is at the end of this episode. A win and a loss on the opening day to Wolves. We'll look to bounce back in the next episode with the first Europa League game against Motherwell. See you next time. Cheers for watching.